Halo 3 has a ton of weapons, too many to choose from really. Bungie also knew this because, luckily, the game can choose for you. Can you beat Halo 3 without swapping weapons? So, let me explain what I mean by swapping weapons. I can do this, switching weapons. What I cannot do is this, swapping weapons. In other words, can you beat Halo 3 with the weapons that you get at the beginning of every level? Also, grenades and equipment are completely allowed for 3 reasons. 1, I'm not swapping a weapon out for it. 2, I can't really control when I pick up a grenade or equipment, however, I will not swap equipment without using what I already have. Or switch grenades, as if I even remember how to. And 3, the title of the challenge only says weapons and nothing about grenades or equipment, and I don't want to turn this into a melee only run. I'm also not allowing myself to dual wield, as if I do that during a normal playthrough anyway. Vehicles are fair game, so long as I don't deal damage with them, either with the actual weapons of a vehicle or by hitting them. I think I covered all my bases, if not, we'll deal with any more problems together. Anyway, Sierra 117, this was pretty easy. Anything that can be skipped should be skipped for the sake of conserving ammo for the big guys. The only semi-challenging part was at the end of this bridge, but if you stick with the thief's best friend, you should be just fine. Just remember to stay in the jail and lob grenades out the window. Don't forget to almost blow yourself up for good luck, and that's Sierra 117 all done. Next up is Crow's Nest. This is one of the only times we actually get to choose our weapon. Battle rifle, combat pistol, and we're on our way. Just gotta aim and fail to get a killing air. Nothing special about the first fight except that I know for a fact I threw a plasma grenade at a drop wall at some point and it bounced off, which took me by surprise. Problem is, I can't find that part of the footage now. Moving on, the drones here usually give me trouble, but I learned how to use grenades, so they weren't an issue. Now, we need to deal with the chieftain. Not a problem, just lose most of your health and get him right before he gets you. Now we need to deal with all the brutes in the corridors. Thankfully, if you use a thief's second best friend, you can skip the majority of it. With the flying brutes, there's not much of a strategy, although I did place down a mine to deal with the ones that come out of there later, and it just disappeared for some reason. Whatever, I still got the active camo and used it to get past the grunts. Of course, it didn't last long enough to get past the brutes. Anyway, all that's left is to rearm the bomb, fail again to get a killing air, and once you get to the end of the level, you're at the end of the level. And on to the next, Salvo Highway. This level introduces vehicles, and like I said before, I can't use the weapons or run things over with them, but I can still drive them and ride in them. So that's what I did to not risk running anything over. Until the driver fucking stopped! And I had to walk 5 feet to get him to realize what he was loaded in to do. Anyway, fighting through the first area wasn't hard because I let the Marines do most of the work while I take down the energy wall. Nothing special about the long walking section with the first wraiths and a bunch of brutes, so now we're at the highway. Just run like hell to the second gate and that's Salvo Highway done. The storm. Fuck this level. Where do I start? Well, we can skip the start, that wasn't that bad. The worst part was the wraiths, but if you give them their spankings for choosing the wrong side of the war, they'll be dead. Also, I got this clip from a casual playthrough of this level and thought it was really funny. What was hell was the scarab. Because I can't attack it myself, what with the point of the challenge and everything, so I had to leave it to the Marines. They aren't useless, they just suck. That and I lost the mongoose almost instantly. Here, watch this. And then I got flicked into oblivion. Round 2 went a lot better. I stuck under the scarab and let the Marine do his thing until the scarab needed to refuel, where I hopped aboard and shot at the energy core because this is a video game. Onward to the AA guns. This was also hell. Hunters suck, but at least in Halo 3 you can jump over them and go in for a melee hit. even though guns and grenades dealt the killing hit. Chieftains are also where melee shine. And we made it to the AA gun. Now it's time to wait for it to open, waste time shooting at it, wait even more, waste more time shooting at it, get smart and throw a grenade, and finally beat the storm. But that doesn't mean we've beaten the Flood. Floodgates is the next level of Halo 3 no swapping challenges. It's also the first time that we see the Flood. If you have a shotgun, they're a piece of cake. If not, then you have an idea of the situation I'm in. Don't worry, just run past everything like you need your money back because you bet on the Oilers. Yeah, I'm gonna end up in a ditch for that one. Ah, fuck! God fucking damn it. Anyway, I got Cortana and now I can finally get out of this hellhole. And onto the Ark. This is honestly my favorite level in the entire game. Thing is, I kinda broke it, I think. See, I just ran past the brutes on this turret chopper? I couldn't find what it's called, and that seemed to break things. I did fight the enemies on this platform, but because Johnson or Spark wasn't there, nothing would happen, so I just went on to take out the AA wraiths. Then things finally got to where they needed to be. Kill a Marine for his ammo, and we're on our way. Nothing here was out of the ordinary, surprising considering what happened. Now, for the second scarab, this wasn't nearly as hard. Just stay under him like before and you're golden. Also, on my second run of this playthrough, I actually used grav lifts to get up to the scarab. And it did work, but this was far easier. Anyway, on to the Inner Sanctum, where, now, I don't know if this was caused by my skipping things, or if this was just a general bug that can happen, but Spark just straight up fucking executes this Marine for some reason. And, like, I don't know, like, the Arbiter seems to be fine with it, and I sure as hell am. I've never seen that happen before. It's just chill, Spark, Jesus. Anyway, after Spark gets called out for being a big dumb stupid for not knowing about something that he was never told about, we have another chieftain and a set of chieflets to deal with. Dead, 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 you get the idea, I win. But now is not the time for winning, it's the time for the next level, Covenant. This level is awesome, but there's less than nothing that even remotely comes close to difficult about this first section, primarily because I got a laser and a battle rifle, but mostly a battle rifle. And now I'm up against a Wraith and 2 turret choppers, and like 5 ghosts. Alright, so this was a complete disaster, but for once, it actually was my fault. I used grenades on the Wraith and got fucked by the ghosts. Second time, I got rid of the Wraith, then hid on a rock, and when I went down to take care of everything else, one of the choppers hit me. The third time, I take out the Wraith, blow up the plasma turret that was also there, and use the laser on the choppers, then get hit by a ghost. Anyway, by now I realized I gotta be missing something, so I went back and saw a warthog and hopped in. That was the key. We charged in, and I got hit by the fucking Wraith, and spawned all the way back up the hill. Walking all the way back down to the warthog, the second attempt went way better, and heading inside, I was able to grab an active camo. Wait, what? In the base of the tower, I ran past everything and used the active camo to deal with the chieftain, and getting invincibility made the rest of this section trivial. Killed another Marine for his ammo, then realized it was for nothing because there was more ammo outside. Moving on, Hornets. So here's the thing, I can use vehicles, I just can't attack with them. So what ended up happening was I just hopped out when I needed to attack anything. The first AA Wraith wasn't anything special. The second one I tried to plant a grenade in it, but the game just wouldn't let me for some reason, and I ended up dying. So I got it stuck and just beat it to death. The third was a real bitch. I beat the gunner to death and spent a good maybe 2 minutes going around in semicircles to try and deal with the Wraith, only to realize that I still have laser ammo. So I blew it up and the last Wraith went down with a grenade. The inside was a lot better. Drones, just throw a grenade at them. Hunters, just let the elites deal with them. And a chieftain, just laser him. Interact with the last thingy and we need to deal with the Flood once more. Getting through this could not be more simpler. Just move past them. There, now you don't have any sand in your shoes. Now, we need to stop Truth. And we get Hornets again, to fight some Scarabs. All you gotta do is land the Hornet on the Scarab and get to the energy core. Destroy it and get to the Hornet before the Scarab blows up. Then do it again and shake the camera around because it's just that easy. We're almost there. Just need to see Truth Do to Johnson what Costume Quest did to me and make a truce with the Parasite. This bridge section is also just a running simulator. And then we get to see the Arbiter do to Truth what I did to Costume Quest. Then we just need to skedaddle out of here. We then see a new ring and a way to light it, finishing the Covenant. And starting Cortana, I had to use a vehicle to fast travel here instead of just doing it like this is Morrowind or something. Either way, we're here and... Wait, no, fuck! Yeah, this level fucking sucks. Just fight run your way through the average Flames and Oilers fans until you get to the first arena area and get lost. Then get to the center of High Charity and active camo your way through the fight, and then wander around like an idiot until you see and open a door to save Cortana. Destroying High Charity was far from hard. Just take out the things and wait around for 2 minutes for Cortana to tell the game to blow a hole in the ground so the game can tell her to tell me that there's a hole blown out in the ground. Running through this made me use the last of my ammo to the point where I finished it only with a single shotgun bullet. Either way, we can finally escape this nightmarish hell on Earth. Alright, Halo, the final level. The first part with the Flood is beyond easy, even without using the rocket launcher. Anyway, on to Spark. Yeah, so Johnson gives the player a laser, but the player needs to swap it out. So I tried using rockets, didn't work. I tried again with 8 instead of 7, I also failed. Then I accidentally restarted the entire level, but I realized I could use an auto turret to try and kill Spark. Yeah, that didn't work. My baby turned on me. It was at this point that I searched up if this is even remotely possible, and as far as I could find, you can deal the first third of damage if you have 4 players, all with fuel rods and rocket launchers. The thing about that is, even if I could get 4 people to all play, which I couldn't, we wouldn't be able to spawn with those weapons. So, no, you cannot beat Halo 3 without swapping weapons. Alright, we killed Spark, and then I randomly picked up a plasma rifle. I debated whether or not I should allow myself to use it, because I didn't start with it, but I also didn't swap a weapon out for it. Then again, I guess I didn't start Crow's Nest with any weapons, but I still allowed myself to use the weapons I picked up, so I allowed myself to use it. On to the Warthog section. This was way more difficult than it should have been. Thankfully, you can't kill the Flood spores by running over them, but there were probably 3 or 4 Flood combatants that I hit, and had to reload a checkpoint that forced me to slam into a wall. This took nearly 14 minutes. But I finally made the jump, as I failed to beat Halo 3 without swapping weapons. So I had the idea for this challenge for a while, like as far back as when I used to stream on Twitch. The reason it took me this long to do it and make a video of it was because this challenge is beyond boring. It's challenging towards the end, which makes it fun, but the storm through the Ark is just letting Marines do the work while you run past everything until you come against a Chieftain or Wraith where you just melee or insta-kill it with explosives. The challenge I recorded for this video is like probably my 5th or 6th attempt where I didn't get bored out of my mind. But yeah, with that, yeah, take care everyone.